When I think of the city of Pickering, Ontario, I'm reminded of the famous line from Home on the Range, where seldom is heard a discouraging word. Unfortunately, in Pickering, that phrase has taken on a darker meaning. It's not that discouraging words aren't heard because everything is peaceful and harmonious. Rather, it's because such words are actively suppressed. Under Mayor Kevin Ashe and his council allies, any form of dissent, disagreement, or opposing viewpoint seems to be completely unwelcome. Despite democracy being rooted in open dialogue and respectful debate, this principle appears to have little standing in Pickering. A clear example of this troubling trend is Councillor Lisa Robinson, who has become the lone voice of dissent on Pickering's municipal council. Her independence and refusal to go along with the status quo have made her a target. In fact, the consequences she's faced are nothing short of extraordinary. She has had her entire annual salary stripped away. Yes, an elected city councillor has been left without a paycheck, effectively penalized for speaking out. It's a development that raises not only ethical concerns but serious questions about constitutionality. Lisa Robinson is not just a councillor, she's also a single mother who relies on her salary to support herself and her child. Her dedication to representing her constituents hasn't waned, but her outspokenness has come at a steep personal cost. The council's justification for these punitive actions? According to Lisa, it all boils down to one thing. She tells the truth, and they don't like it. Lisa explained that her attempts to bring forward motions on behalf of her constituents are repeatedly blocked. When she asks tough questions or calls out what she believes are inaccuracies or dishonesty by staff, the reaction is swift and harsh. She's accused of bullying and intimidation, not because she raises her voice or behaves inappropriately, but simply because she challenges the narrative. One recent punishment saw her lose another 90 days' pay. This brings her total suspension to an entire year's salary. What triggered the latest penalties? As she recounts, one of the infractions involved her comments about public surveys during a November 28 town hall. She pointed out the widely known fact that survey results can be manipulated depending on how questions are phrased, a comment rooted in common knowledge and even supported by journalistic research, such as Cynthia Crossan's Tainted Truth. Despite this, Council deemed her remarks inappropriate. Another issue was a simple sign-in sheet at that same town hall. Attendees were asked to provide their first name or initials. While the sheet included optional placeholders for email, phone number, or address, none of that personal data was actually collected. Nonetheless, Lisa was accused of violating MIPA rules, despite not obtaining any sensitive information. It was another questionable justification for a severe penalty. It's difficult not to view these sanctions as a targeted vendetta, a coordinated attempt to silence her voice because it's inconvenient. Lisa believes that's exactly what's happening. The mayor has openly admitted to being biased against her. At one point, he even said he'd keep her on a short leash, a demeaning comment that arguably amounts to verbal bullying. This, of course, is ironic considering the accusations being made against Lisa. She also highlighted Mayor Ashe's tendency to respond to critics on social media with belittling remarks, such as telling people to go have another drink or calling them conspiracy theorists. Those associated with Lisa are sometimes labeled as racists without any actual evidence. And when she asks what was specifically said that was racist, there are never any clear answers. It seems that these labels are being used not based on substance, but as a means to discredit. One would think that public service would involve some tolerance for opposing views. Yet, in Pickering, it seems that simply voicing an alternative opinion can result in career and financial destruction. Lisa's salary wasn't withheld all at once. It was done gradually, 3-month suspensions at a time, until the total added up to a full year's income. She entered municipal politics to serve the community, never imagining it would become an unpaid volunteer role due to systemic retaliation. But she refuses to be silenced. Despite the financial hardship, Lisa is committed to standing her ground and speaking for the people who elected her. One example she gave involved the city's gift and benefit policy. City officials must declare gifts received, but only if those gifts go to them directly or to a spouse, child, or parent. She pointed out a loophole. If a developer gives her 10 baseball tickets and she only uses 3 for her family, The remaining 7 can be handed out without disclosure. For highlighting this ethical gap, she was once again penalized with a loss of salary. Her critiques extend beyond policy. Lisa publicly stated that if elected mayor, she would use the province's strong mayor powers to clean house at City Hall. She'd remove senior officials like the CEO and solicitor because, as she said, corruption begins at the top. This comment alone was enough to cost her another 3 months' salary. Under the current code of conduct, speaking about city staff in that way is considered disparaging, even if it's part of an election platform. But to Lisa, this only further underscores how broken the system is. Despite all this, Lisa is undeterred. She fully intends to run for mayor in the next municipal election, and she believes she has a real shot at unseating Kevin Ashe. She says the community is frustrated by the lack of accountability, by high taxes, and by a council that refuses to listen. Citizens can't even speak at meetings unless their topic is on the official agenda. This has led to a situation where many feel shut out of their own local government. Moreover, it's not just the mayor engaging in suppression. Lisa claims that his wife even went so far as to contact a constituent's employer over a Facebook post critical of the mayor, allegedly trying to get the person fired. It's an example of the extreme lengths to which allies of the mayor will go to silence opposition. Lisa believes the structure of city governance in Pickering reflects this top-down control. The redesign of council chambers places the mayor in the central position, flanked not by elected councillors, but by unelected staff, the CEO and the city clerk. Meanwhile, councillors sit at awkward angles, unable to look directly at the public during meetings. It sends a symbolic message. Elected representatives are sidelined, and the real power lies elsewhere. Lisa's campaign slogan isn't finalized yet, but her message is clear. She wants to tear down the current system and rebuild it so that it serves the people, not entrenched insiders. She wants a city hall that's open, transparent, and accountable, a far cry from the one she currently describes as corrupt and exclusionary. And this isn't just about Pickering. What's happening there could happen anywhere. When elected officials are punished for expressing alternative viewpoints or holding government accountable, democracy itself is under threat. These actions set dangerous precedents that could spread to other municipalities. That's why cases like Lisa Robinson's matter.